What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the season finale for Ready to Love season. I say it's season 6. I don't care what they say. It's season 6, child. So everybody that's left meets down to the brunch. Tommy lets them know that Sabrina and Demetrius are gone. And of course, Carmen has to put a little smart comment in there, like, no, Demetrius, Sabrina, okay, girl. Clifton is talking to Carmen, and he's letting Carmen know, listen, I'm in, I'm locked and loaded. It is what it is. I'm ready for this. Joy is talking to, I think she's talking to Paul, I don't know, or Donovan, one of them, and she's saying the same thing, like, I'm ready for this to be over. I'm ready to move on and get to the next level. Like, boom. So Tommy lets them know, like, this is it. This is all. My part of this journey is done. One last task. The fellas, ladies, excuse me, you have to, introduce your person to your family. Because, of course, the ladies met the guys' family last week. And so we know that in Joy's situation, both of her parents, I believe, have passed away. And so we know she has a sister she talked about earlier in the season. So her sister comes to meet Clifton. And they hit it off, like from the door, they hit it off. And Joy and listen, let me tell you something. I love Joy and Clifton. Like, I really, really love Joy and Clifton. It's so real with them. It's so natural. Joy just she cannot stop smiling when he is around, right? The biggest thing that seems to continue to be an issue with Joy and Clifton is the fact that there's going to be distance. She is leaving literally as soon as this process is over. She works half the year in Mexico. She's a singer, and she has, like, I guess, a standing gig at maybe a resort or something like that, where she works in Mexico half the year. It's something that Clifton knows. It's something that Joy's been open about. But, with the closer and closer that time comes, the harder and harder it's going to get. And that's really her sister's only reservation. She likes Clifton. She thinks Clifton is a good guy. She thinks he's fine as wine. But her biggest issue is just, at the end of the day, are y'all going to be able to deal with this distance? And, Clifton is honest. He said, listen, we're early in this relationship. This is new in the relationship. So, of course, I would love to have time to foster this more and, flesh the whole situation out. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to figure out a way to make it work. And then they went on a date, and it was a really sweet date the two of them went on, where basically Joy is saying, listen, I can't make you be okay with it. I can only stress to you that we can figure this out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I that's one of those show me. Like, we just got to do it. We just have to be committed to doing it. I mean, getting some frequent flyer miles in, taking some long weekends, flying down to Mexico. When you got, you flying up here, like, we're just going to have to invest in some time to make it work. But we know that Joy and Clifton going to choose each other. Like, there's no suspense there at all. Okay? And they're cute together, and I like them together. I'd be here, listen, Tommy, if you ever going to do a spinoff, they would be a good couple to put on a spinoff. I like them together. I like their energy. Then we have Donovan and Carmen. So Carmen takes Donovan to meet her parents, her mom and her dad. Now, her mom is a pastor. So, of course, she's very much like, listen, I got to see if he got the God in him, okay? And Carmen was like, I want y'all to be hard on him. Like, I want y'all to be hard on him because I want y'all to push it. I want y'all to push him. And what came up with Donovan was the fact that he basically was unfaithful in his marriage. So, of course, that would make any parent kind of be like, And they asked him a little bit more about it, and he said, listen, all I can say is that I'm committed and that I, as long as we keep the lines of communication open, then we should be good. And her father was like, but I'm sure you made those same promises to your wife that you cheated on. Like, what's that about? And he was like, well, he said, listen, there were some underlying issues with my marriage. Like, yes, I stepped out, but there were things that were going on before I got to that point. And if Carmen and I can keep the lines of communication open and stay in a good space with each other, then we should be good. Which I think is a fair question. I mean, I think that's fair, and I think that's honest. You know, I think that's an honest thing to say. Listen, I stepped out in my marriage, but it's not as simple as I was just, horny and I went out and found me another woman. Like, we had some issues, and if Carmen and I stay dedicated and we keep the lines of communication open and we work on the issues before it gets to that point, I have no intentions, and then you learn from your mistakes. You figure some things out. Like, sometimes you gotta fall to get back up, right? They asked about his kids and whether that would be an issue with the mothers of the babies, which, again, that's valid again. And he said, nope, that's not going to be an issue at all. We're good. So it seems, they said, listen, he seems cool. Oh, and the mother asked him about his faith. He was like, I was raised Catholic. She was like, I ain't talking about your religion. I'm talking about your faith. I said, I know that's right, mama. But ultimately, the family was like, listen, we trust your decision. Take it slow. They told her, take it slow. But he seems cool. He really does seem like a cool guy. But listen, take it slow. Then we have Paul and Dakaya. Did I say Sabrina earlier? Please, I hope I didn't. Please let me say I said Dakaya. Look. Paul and Dakaya are just hanging on by their pinkies on the ledge, okay? Dakaya, we meet her mom and her brother. I knew we was in trouble when they asked about babies, and he's talking about something. He got a 27-year-old, and basically he ain't ready to start over. Like, he ain't trying to have no 27-year-old and a 1-year-old. Like, that ain't about to be his issue. Mama gonna ask him his credit score. What? Why do people think that's cool to ask somebody, like, on a first date? Like, don't get me wrong. It's important. That's information that's important to know. But how about that's not something I need to know on a first date about somebody's credit score? What? I don't know. So, it's time to choose. We down to who gonna choose who. And like I said, it was absolutely no question, no suspense about Joy and Donovan, right? They look nice. They laughing. They kissing. They smiling. Then we have Donovan and Carmen. And they choose each other, right? They choose each other. They ready for the rigmarole. The only question mark was this Paul and Dakaya situation. Look, Paul showed up, and Paul was like, look, it's been a crazy process, right? And me and you, we just kind of sort of getting started in our process. And the guy was like, I know. And honestly, if I were to choose you, it just would be on some old fugazi. It would just be for the camera. But she say that, I'm saying that. It would just be for the cameras, So honestly, listen, I gotta choose me. And I know you gotta choose you. And Paul was like, you right. You cool. You right. Can I have a hug? Sure, you can have a hug, girl. So honestly, like, if Paul and Dakaya had chosen each other, I think all of us would be like, stop playing. Like, we know that there's nothing there. There's no love, passion, there. That doesn't mean they can't grow into that. That doesn't mean they can't stay in touch and date outside of the show. And maybe something will be there, but I don't think anybody was convinced that there was a relationship or anything serious going on with the two of them, right? So anyway, that was it. The reunion starts next week. I think we got a 2-part reunion. So I see y'all on the panel, honey. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.